got to win. They're 3-0 when Anthony Davis plays. Noticing. And he hasn't even really played all that good the last 2 games. Noticing. The noticer. The United States are cooked if they don't learn from these mistakes. No, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson will be running for president in 2028. Okay. Weird game for the Mavs. So I'm just off rip going to say this. Great defensive performance by Dallas. I thought they really played well defensively. I was very impressed by Caleb Martin last night. You do see the vision with him. Very impressed with him defensively. Flying around. When the Mavs, as a team, how much they like to switch, Caleb Martin is a valuable player for them. So I do see the vision with him 100%. Does that mean I'm defending the trade? No. But I don't assuming, let's just say Caleb Martin's on the team next year and they're somewhat healthy, I think we'll be looking at him a little bit differently. So I thought their defense was really solid last night. As far as AD, I'm just going to say this right away. I'm not entirely sure. He just came back from an injury. So you give him some time. He hasn't shot well in these 2 games that he's been back against the Nets and against the Magic. Really didn't shoot well last night. Physically, he looks terrible, right? Now, watching him play, I can't quite decide if what we're seeing is him maybe still dealing with a little bit of an injury and not being near 100%, or if he and his team thought, all right, game 1 against the Rockets, your first game with the Mavs was just on another level, like the intensity and the effort that we were playing at, dealing with an injury. So let's kind of maybe tone it down. Maybe we pick our spots, but let's sort of ease our way into things. And that's kind of what it feels like. Conditioning's not there yet. He was out for 6 weeks. So, and I'm assuming with sort of the injury that he had, it's probably hard to keep up with your conditioning, right? Like certain upper body injuries, you can kind of keep up with your conditioning and cardio a little bit while you're recovering. The abductor injury, I have to imagine it's pretty difficult to stay in game shape, right? With that, similar to like a lower body injury. So cardio for sure. I mean, I'm not jumping to any conclusions with him in his shooting stuff because he's just coming back from an injury. But I do wonder if there's kind of a level of let me sort of coast a tiny bit. I don't want to go too hard. That's kind of what it looks like. Because you watch guys come back from injuries, and I'm thinking about Luka coming back from his calf strain this year, and it's like you see them, they're trying to do all the things they normally do, but you can just tell they're a step slower, trying to get back into it. Obviously, they're huffing and puffing up and down the court because they got to get their cardio back. AD, it does kind of feel like it's just coasting at times, and I know that's the motor stuff is stuff that's gotten brought up with him in the past. I know that for sure. But he's back and playing NBA games, and he must be healed. You can't play with that sort of injury lingering. No, yeah, I think he's healthy enough to play. Obviously, they wouldn't risk it. But they're really trying to play through him. You see the vision with the post ups and him drawing double teams and the ball moving around. Just didn't shoot well last night. But I see the vision, and it does excite me. I thought the Mavs, again, were tremendous defensively last night. The Magic made 5 fucking threes. I mean, they're just, man. Paolo was incredible, 35 points, but man. Too many turnovers for the Magic. They can't hit the broadside of a barn, right? They couldn't hit the ocean if they were sitting on a boat. It's shocking how terrible they are. 3-point shooting team. They said on the broadcast that they're on pace to be the worst 3-point shooting team. I think I heard since 2013, which is pretty remarkable in this era to be that bad from 3. That bad from 3, top to bottom. And a shout out to our man, Jaden Hardy, because I've said stuff about Jaden Hardy. He absolutely carried the team in this game. It did look like for a time that the Mavs were going to lose this one, but a massive third quarter surge by the Mavericks, led by 3 threes by Jaden Hardy. He had 2 threes in the fourth quarter, had 19 points in the second half. And I mean, propelled this team to a win for sure. Hardy Party did go crazy. Some people were calling him a superstar merchant. Hardy only plays well when a superstar is on the court. Hey, maybe that's true. The vision for Hardy is making threes. When he's knocking down threes at a high level, you see it. And he does have, and what, like, I tweeted out the, just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in when it comes to Hardy, because you see it. Those stretches where he makes like 3 threes in the span of 2 minutes. You're like, oh shit. And you wonder if maybe he could get to a spot consistently where he's coming off the bench and he's this sort of spark plug. We know we're going to get a stretch from Hardy in this game where he's knocking down 3 threes. It's just, it's so interesting with him. He just doesn't do a lot of other things. So it makes it to when he's not knocking down threes, it can look ugly. You know what I mean? Hardy's supposed to be better than Boncaro. That's crazy. Oh, coming out of high school. Is our record even different if AD doesn't play? He wasn't really amazing in the Magic game, and we probably beat the Nets anyways. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. They're a different looking team. Just having the gravity of a, don't sleep on the mental aspect of having a superstar on the court, and what that does for your gravity, what that does for your spacing, what that does for just the geometry of the court, what that does for, again, especially when you don't have a lot of on-ball creators, having a guy like that just kind of opens up things a little bit. Hardy's so frustrating. Every time you think it's time to move on from him, he shows flashes like last night. We got to get Hardy into this space where it's just like, hey, your job's to shoot threes. Can we get Hardy to the point where it's like, hey, your job's to be a knockdown 3-point shooter? That is priority number 1 for you. Everything else is secondary, and we have to cut out all of the bad things. That's not number 1. We're okay with you missing threes. I am perfectly fine with Hardy missing threes. That does not bother me. If Hardy shoots and misses a 3, I have no issues with that whatsoever, right? It's when we get the possessions where Hardy's throwing up, like these elbow jumpers with 14 seconds left on the shot clock. That's just like, what? I don't love that shot, right? Where Hardy's sort of driving into the paint. There's two guys contesting him at the rim, and he throws up a crazy shot. I don't love that. Where Hardy's kind of over dribbling and then dribbles it off the side of his foot, and it's a turnover. Those are the things we have to cut out. Those cannot exist in your game. And, they're going to happen from time to time. But I'm saying they can't happen with any consistency. And if you get to that point, yeah, I do think he can be a rotation player if his 3-point shooting numbers are good enough. Do you think B-Will can be in the guard rotation next season while we wait for Kai? Honestly, yes. I don't want to fall for any crazy March things, but I don't know, man. He's so smooth. He generates advantages pretty easily. He beats guys pretty consistently. And I'm talking good defenders, too. He collapses the defense, I would say, fairly easily. I don't know, man. That stuff plays. I especially with Kyrie out, I'm assuming they're going to go out and get ball handlers. But having him on the team next year, I think, could be a good thing for sure. So anyways, that win for a brief moment pushed the Mavericks up to the 9 seed in the West. But the Kings did go on to win last night against the Blazers, blew them out. So the Mavs are currently 10th. The Kings are 9th. The baffling Kings, the pathetic Suns, who play the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight. That's a big game for both teams. That actually will be a really fun game. That's a massive game for both teams. We saw last year the Suns kind of got their mojo against the Timberwolves towards the end of the season. But that's a huge game. And we know the Mavs beating the Magic last night was pretty big. They play a hot Chicago Bulls team tomorrow night in Chicago. That's not going to be easy, especially with how the Bulls have played offensively lately. You're really going to have to bring it on that end of the court. And then Brooklyn at home, Atlanta at home. I don't know, like 2-1, 3-0 even feels possible over that stretch. And the rest of the way, you've got 2 games against the Clippers. You do have the Lakers on Wednesday night, but that's the second night of a back-to-back for LA. There's no chance in hell they don't play Luka, but they're going to get gored by the Bulls. It's possible. Then a Raptors team, second to last game of the season. What the hell do you think they're going to look like? Second to last game of the season for Toronto. There's going to be guys on the court you've never even heard of. And then a Grizzlies team that just fired their coach. Hope Toronto takes Miami's playing spot. Miami's won 3 in a row. 6-game lead for them. Feels really unlikely. Feels really unlikely. I mean, I'm hoping we see a strong AD performance soon. And could be against the Bulls. And I'm just going off of stuff that they've reported and kind of how this team operates, where you won't hear news about a guy for a while and then boom, all of a sudden they're back. I would not be surprised at all if Lively's playing in one of these games next week. Probably not against Brooklyn. Maybe against Atlanta. I think that's 100% possible that Lively's playing in this Hawks game right here or one of the Clippers games. Haven't heard much of anything about Gafford, but Lively, definitely on the table. And I want to see, I do, if AD's going to be back, then let's go. Lively, AD, I want to see that. Actually, we were locked into our seed, so basically I wouldn't be surprised to see Brandon Ingram get a couple games in at the very end of the season. You don't think there's a world where they can improve their draft position? 26 wins. Yeah, they do kind of feel pretty comfortable there. Just do the play-in? No, I mean, if... Breaking news, Paige Bueckers confirmed to us today that she will enter the 2025 WNBA draft. Someone suggested she would not declare play-in unrivaled, then declare in 2026. Welcome to Dallas, Paige. Never in doubt. Never in doubt, baby. We beat the Nets and Wizards recently, which sealed it pretty much. All right, then maybe the Raptors just throw shit out there, but also at the same time, second to last game of the season, your season's probably over at that point. Sometimes teams don't want to risk injury or anything like that. Did that she was going for a 6-year? There was some rumors, and I think most of it was speculation, that she might at least hold somebody hostage and basically say, or hold Dallas hostage in an effort to try and go to LA or something and say, oh, don't draft me. Like I'm going to go back to school instead of going to your team. Or I'm going to go play an unrivaled or whatever. Instead of going to the Wings. But that appears to maybe not be the case.